My confirmation experience was a mixture of emotions. When I was confirmed in the Catholic faith, the bishop of the diocese which I belonged to came and held a mass for those confirmands. The bishop of my diocese, Bishop Nicholas, is known for calling kids up in front of the entire church to answer questions about the readings and about the sacrament of confirmation. No one ever wanted to be the person picked because it was nerve-wracking and no one wanted to say the wrong answer. Because of this, my class and I had to study a lot in preparation. Everyone had to pick a confirmation name, a saint, and a sponsor who would be with us through the journey and be someone we can count on and look up to. My confirmation name was St. Clare of Assisi, and my sponsor was my Aunt Pam. The day came when I was to be confirmed, and I was prepared to answer questions if I was picked by the bishop. Although I was content, the weather was not. The forecast for the evening predicted freezing rain, and it was correct. It was so dangerous to drive through those conditions that they postponed the confirmation mass to a later date. To say that I was upset would be an understatement. Knowing that the date would change meant that I had to learn all new readings in a shorter amount of time. When I went to class the next day, my religion teacher handed out the new readings, which she said would be harder to understand. I had no choice but to study these new readings, and with the help of my teacher and classmates, I was able to understand them the best that I could. Confirmation day number 2 came around, and I was ready. Or so I thought until about a few hours before the mass started. I was all dressed and ready to go when the butterflies began to start in my stomach. But my family and I hopped into the car to head to church, and all I could think about was being picked. I arrived to see all my friends and was relieved to hear that they were all thinking the same way I was. Everyone got lined up to enter church with our sponsors, and it began to rain. Luckily, everyone was already there, so they couldn't postpone it again. Everyone entered church and sat in our designated pews, and the Mass began. All was going well. Then Bishop Nicholas begins his homily. He picks 4 people out of about 100 confirmands to come up and speak. Bishop Nicholas starts off by saying, "Can I have Crystal Gloden please join me in front of the altar?" My heart begins to beat out of my chest as I walk up the aisle. Bishop Nicholas first asks me, "Are you nervous?" I immediately respond, "Yes," and the entire church begins to laugh. Bishop Nicholas asks me about the first reading, and I respond with a great answer, and then asks the other 3 students questions as well. When Bishop Nicholas was finished asking us questions, we returned to our seats, and I was happy with how I did, but my body was still shaking like crazy. We were then blessed by the bishop with my sponsor's hand on my shoulder, and I was confirmed. Afterwards, there was a reception of baked goods and juice in the high school gymnasium. It seemed like everyone was coming up to me and telling me how good of a job I did. Even days after, people would tell me, "Good job." I could tell I made my family very happy, and I was proud. Though it may have been a random choosing, my dad believes that I was picked for a reason. I may not know what this reason is, but I believe God has his ways.